me.
Okay. Right. And we are live. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today I have Valarie with me and we are going to be doing pyrography. So this is the first time that I am doing this. I have never done it before. And today, actually, Val and I were supposed to try this before the stream started. Like, it was like 2 hours before the time, and we were dealing with all the technical stuff, so I haven't even had the chance to put this machine on for the first time. So this is literally pyrography for the utmost beginner. So Val is over there. Say hi.
Hi.
And Val is going to be talking me through the whole process as we do it. So the link to Val's channel is in the description below. This video will end up on her channel as well anyways. And Val's been doing this for a very long time, so she knows her shit. So I have, so Val, do you just want to tell us a little bit about your channel and then we'll get stuck into actually trying this?
Okay, just so you know, right now I can't hear you because I don't have my headphones on. But I think you asked about my channel,
Why
so
don't
we'll
you have
go
your
with
headphones
that.
on?
Oh, because they're funny headphones. Don't mess up my hair.
Aw, it's okay.
But I can do this. How's
Right.
that?
Okay, so all I ask
Ah,
is if you can just tell everybody a little bit about yourself and your channel, and then we will get stuck into actually doing this live. I think, Val, you are also going to be doing the same flower with me on screen, so you're going to switch your webcam over when you're done,
I
and
am.
then you're going to talk me through it. Okay, great.
Okay, well, my name is Valarie. I have the channel Drawing with Fire. I have been doing pyrography for 12 years and I am self-taught. We'll be using the Optima one tonight. And if I remember right, Kildine also has the dual burner that we'll be using. And we're doing a flower. My channel's only about a year and a half old and still growing. And I like to teach biography.
Great. Thanks, Val. Okay, so this is what the machine looks like that Val's talking about. So it's called an Optima 1 Dual. So, and it's got these two cords plugged in there. And then we've got two pens. So what's this pen, Val? This one with the
Oh, I gotta look at my screen there. I
shader?
can't see the thing. There's a spear shader, a ball tip, the
Okay, and the ball tip.
corsair. Yeah, the
Okay.
corsair, and you have the skew.
Okay, but today we're using these two.
The ball tip and the spear shader.
Okay, so this one on the left is the ball tip. It just looks like a tiny little ball on the end. And then that's, yeah, it speaks for itself. Okay.
Yep,
So
that's it.
I'm turning this machine on.
Okay.
And then
Well,
what number does it have to be on?
well, you're not gonna see as much of a burn from 1 to 3. We're
Okay.
gonna start about a 2 and
Okay.
just test our tip first on some scratch paper to make sure it's not too hot. And we're gonna start with a lower burn
Okay, wait,
because we
slow
can
down.
always sharpen.
There are two arrows, one to the left and one to the right. Which one am I using?
Whichever one you have the spear shader.
The shader. That's the one on my left. I should swap them over. Okay.
Yep, you just switch it to the
Okay, so
left.
switch it to the left, and I'm putting it on 4,
2.
2. Okay.
2.
Oh, and we are burning on paper. So I'm actually using the Fabriano hot pressed 200 GSM watercolor paper. So that's the paper
And
that
I'm
I'm using.
using, yeah, and I'm using the Arches hot press.
The what?
I'm using Arches hot press.
Oh, Archer's hot press paper. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And I'm going to switch it over.
Okay, go ahead, switch it over.
There we go.
So if any of you see the bear there on Val's screen, that is the collaboration that we did a while ago.
I'm still
It's
working
happening.
on it.
It's still happening.
It is. All right.
Great.
Make sure, for some reason, my camera has me looking like I'm left-handed.
Mm,
If I can fix that.
okay. Well, while
I think
Val's
it's,
doing
there
that,
we go.
I'm just gonna see any of the chats. So Jason, Val's husband, is there. If you guys have any questions, he's going to read it out to us so that we don't have to look up on the screen all the time. But please still put your questions in capital letters if you have it for us. If you have a question specifically for Val, say Val in the beginning. If you have a question specifically for me, just say Shells. And then Jason will be kind enough to read your questions out and we'll be able to answer you. Thanks. Hi guys, it's so nice to see a few of you on here. I'm guessing all the new names that I'm going to see on here are probably some of Val's followers. So it's nice to have both of you on here together. It's really great. And then some of the usual faces. Cool. Okay. Right. So I have this machine on. I almost wanted to touch it with my finger. I'm not touching it with my finger.
No! Do not touch with your finger.
I know it's like a natural thing. It's like you want to test if something's hot, then you just quickly touch it. But don't do that. Don't do that here. Okay.
Don't do that. Use your paper.
I have another piece of paper here. So how do I test it? Do I just literally apply?
Yep. Just touch down and test. Think of it as a hot pen. So 2 on my paper is going to be very light.
Yeah, this is very, very light.
So we can bump it up to about 2.5, which will be between the 2 and the 3.
Okay, 2.5. And you said it warms up pretty instantly.
Yeah.
Okay. This is very interesting. Let me see if I can zoom in there a bit more for you guys. Zoom.
That's one.
Okay.
The 2.5 is a little bit darker.
Yeah, that's better.
And then let's go ahead and check for the 3, just so we know what it looks like.
It still takes a while to just shade a section. Is it supposed to take that long?
It takes longer on paper. On wood, it would be quicker.
Okay, so I have it on 3. Oh, that's better. Oh my gosh, that was like instant. Oh, no.
Yep. And the higher the temperature, the quicker it will heat up.
Okay, I like 3. 3 feels good.
Okay. Try 3.5.
Okay. 3.5. Ooh. Okay, so I can feel that I need to really put the flat side down, not touch the tip down first, because if I do that, that's what happens. It leaves a darker mark. Yeah. Okay, so I need to use. Okay, that's I think that's too hot. Ah, I saw smoke. I'm putting down to 3.
Yep.
Ah.
Well, no, let's bump
Smoke
up to
is
4.
normal.
Just
bump
let's
up to
bump
4.
up to 4. And you see what it looks like.
Okay.
I promise you won't burn the house down unless you drop your pen.
Okay. I will not drop my pen.
No.
Oh, that really smells. You can smell the burn. Okay. I should probably open the window.
It should not get too smoky. It shouldn't get smoky at all.
Okay. Okay. So that's pretty good.
And then just a 5. I don't tend to go above 6. So.
Well, yours looks very, very dark compared to mine. Oh wait. There we go. Why does it? Am I spreading it down to? Okay, so that's what mine looks like.
And it'll be hotter at the tip versus just the full bottom of it. You can also turn it to the side, left or right, to make lines.
Oh. Okay.
And every time you put your pen down and it starts lightening up, that is the paper kind of soaking up the heat.
Okay, yeah, I noticed that.
Yes.
Oh, I better not have my drawing underneath there. I'm making that go dark.
My goodness. Gareth, you didn't. Gareth just did a super chat for 35 pounds.
Thank you, Gareth.
Thank you so much, Gareth.
So whatever you guys are doing in Super Chat is going both towards me and Valarie. And this helps us with any postage and handling or any giveaways for you guys as well. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Gareth. Now that you told him we're splitting it, watch him take half away.
Okay, wait, I wasn't even on the screen there. So I love how straight you can get these lines.
Mm-hmm.
And that just went straight through the paper. Okay, so this is...
That's why you need the board.
Yes, I got the board, so thank goodness for that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you have to lift it up. You have to lift it up, and then does it cool down as you lift it up, and then
It cools down as you leave it on the surface longer. And then when you lift it, it heats
it
back
warms
up.
up?
Yep.
Okay.
That's the recovery time.
So that's... So you're not getting a like consistent shade. How do you get a soft, consistent shade? So do you have to lift it up and put it down?
A lot of times for my gradients, like right now, I'm a little above 2. And so I'll do it this
How
way.
is yours so dark if you're a little above 2?
No, these are between 3 and 5.5.
Oh.
Those are the darker ones. I'm going to do the lighter one up here. And for a gradient, say we've got a rectangle, I would just shade the whole area of that rectangle.
Okay.
If I have to lift up, I'd lift up for a second. You may not see me lift up because of the camera angle.
I can see you lift up.
And so once I would get this filled in to how I wanted it, I would bump it up another half a setting.
So you're adjusting the settings all the time.
If on paper it is a little trickier, the wood works a lot better when it comes to this, but you can get really pretty results with paper too. So now that I have that rectangle, I'd bump it up to 3, and then I would only shade maybe half of it. And it is harder to get a gradient on paper, the smooth one, than it is wood, which is why I restarted the bear, and this time it's on wood.
Yeah. I wish we didn't pick a flower. I wish we picked something that was way more textured. You know what? I'm just going to make a really textured flower.
I was about to say, we can do texture. But what I did want to do is switch over to the ball tip, because it's going to heat up really quick, but it's going to leave a different kind of mark.
Am I supposed to have sponges on this whole thing? Because this thing's getting hot.
Okay. Oh. Your pen is always going to get warm. It should never get uncomfortable. What setting are you on?
I'm on 4.
You're on 4?
It's hot, but it's not like burning hot.
Yeah. You're going to get some warmth right here where your pen sits. Okay. But it shouldn't be any more than that.
Okay, so I've switched the flip, and I've switched over to the ball one.
And if I remember right, you've got the medium ball, right?
I don't know. What is this? It just says 1/16 inches.
1/16. Okay, that one.
Is that too small?
No, that actually might be the large.
I like that one.
This is more like writing with a pen.
Yeah. Okay.
Actually, that might be the medium, but I have the large on. Oh! That's not fun. Yeah.
Okay. So the shading one, I don't know. I don't feel like it. I guess that's going to take some practice to get the hang of that one.
This all is going to take a little bit of practice. Now, looking at the screen, my ball tip is bigger than yours. This one's going to take longer to heat up anyway. I think that's the medium.
Okay. I'm just going to take a second and open a window anyways, because I can really smell the paper. And it is hot, so may as well have a window open.
Okay. Killian's opening a window.
So it's already 33 degrees. Celsius.
When she says 33 degrees, yes, Celsius. Which I think we're down in like, I don't know, 10 degrees Celsius, something like that.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay.
So this is a different mark. It's good for writing.
Yeah, I already wrote my name there. There's one. Okay.
The ball tip is what I use. I actually use the smaller one to sign my name.
So this is the flower that we're going to be doing. And we're using these two tools. So where on this flower are we using the ball tip? So, yeah. So those really sharp, straight edges, we'd use the shading one. With the side of the shading one.
Well, what I normally do is I start in the darkest area. For this one, this is going to be around the center.
Okay, let's just start with that one. Let's swing it.
Yep, and we can use the ball tip. And based on testing our tips, we can go ahead and start that.
So the center is completely dark, so I guess we could. So what are we doing now, the center?
I'm using the ball tip set on 3.
Okay, let's set on 3.
Gonna take a second to heat up. And I'm always testing on the scrap piece of paper.
Okay, I'll keep that close.
And I do try to test on paper, the same paper that I'm burning on.
Yep.
If I can. And then it goes the same with the wood. Whatever wood you're burning on, if you're burning on birch, have a scrap piece of birch.
Okay.
Or basswood.
So I'm just going to put a smaller piece closer by.
Yeah,
so
for mine,
tell me what you're doing first now. Are you working from the center?
I'm going to touch down in the middle.
Okay.
And it's going to be dark.
Okay, which is fine because it's black in the actual reference. Okay. So I have my spare piece of paper, and it's gonna be black. Yes. Okay.
I think it's because where he's not trying to fight between focusing on your hand.
Well, I took autofocus off.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So next, we will go to the next darker area, which you're looking at the base of the petals outside of the circle.
Yeah, and we're still using this one.
I would go ahead and bump it down to 2.5 because it's a little lighter.
Okay.
And give it a second to cool off.
Okay.
You can also blow on your tip, and it just kind of takes a little bit of the heat away. And remember, you can always darken up. Lightening up, especially on watercolor paper, is like not happening.
Okay.
And then I like to move in circles, little bitty circles, kind of like when you're using colored pencil.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm testing it on the spare sheet now, and it's not actually burning at all. Is it too low?
At 2.5, you should be burning.
Do I have it switched on the right one?
I do that. That does happen.
Yeah.
So,
okay, I have it switched on the right one. Okay.
You might have to adjust yours a little differently from mine.
Okay, I'll adjust it a smidge higher. I'll show you what I'm seeing. So I'm testing it over here.
Remember, it'll go through the paper.
Yeah, I got this
So
one
it-
folded in half, folded in two. That's too light, isn't it?
Well, you can try it. You can always darken. So never worry about it being too light.
Okay. Okay. Well, let's go for it then.
Yep, just go for it.
Do I have my flower positioned the right way? Yes,
I
I
don't
do.
think it.
I do.
I don't think it matters on this one.
And I mean, looking at my phone, because my phone is like right underneath the flower. So I want to make sure I'm working on the right petal.
Oh, right now I'm just working around the center.
Okay. Oh, you're not actually
at the
working.
base of the petals.
Okay.
Yeah, on the base of the petals, where where they all come together at the base.
Rob is saying, "Do I need to record?" Jason, what's happening? Why aren't you saying anything?
Actually, chat's just talking about. Chat's just talking, and you had to go, so she just left. But
okay, I am
questions or anything?
Recording.
Now, is Shelby's voltage?
Hers is Aussie. They use
Is it 240?
240.
Yes,
240.
240.
So there might be some difference.
Thanks, Rob.
Yeah.
I am recording. Okay.
And then it's just a matter of building these up. See, that's why I think it's going to transfer well for you because of colored pencil.
Well, I thought colored pencil requires patience. I think this requires more patience.
I will say pyrography is a wonderful teacher of patience.
Yes. Well, that's what I've been saying about colored pencils, but I think you can even go beyond that.
It gets easier, it gets quicker, but we are doing it a little bit.
Yeah, next time I'm definitely going to try it on wood, because if you said it's quicker on wood instead of paper.
And you'll get the smoother gradients. For me, honestly, I think paper-wise, I think animals are probably the best to do on paper.
Yeah, because you could really get those textures in there. Right.
Yep. And if it's not a perfect gradient, it's okay.
Yep. Yep, exactly.
So I'm just kind of moving my pen up, following the texture of the pen.
Yeah.
And really, it really is just like if you were drawing with a ballpoint pen.
Yeah.
Only thing is watching your heat. When you move your pen quicker, you'll get a lighter burn, and when you move your pen slower, you'll get a darker burn.
Okay. I feel like I'm getting a bit more of a feel for it.
And I will say you're starting off lucky because you're starting off with a wire tip burner instead of a craft burner.
Oh, what's the difference?
The craft burner is not my favorite type of burner. And most people don't. I mean, there are some people who do beautiful art with it, but most people don't care for them.
Why? How's it different to this?
They're like soldering irons. I don't know what you guys have over in Australia.
I didn't even know about these tools until you.
Well, Shelby knows color pencils, right?
Yes.
So comparing this craft burner to a wire tip would be like saying, yeah, you can do art with a box of Crayola colored pencils.
Ah, okay. I understand that language.
She got it. She got it. She got that one.
Yep. Okay.
That was a good one.
It's the only kind I have.
I love my hubby.
Hubcap.
Oh, I'm sorry, Hubcap.
Yeah, I was so
Oh,
lucky. We were saying earlier today, when Val and I were trying to figure all of this out, because we haven't trying to figure out how to speak to someone in another country and record them at the same time with audio and video, and then trying to work out how to do it in real time, because when you look at YouTube, it's about a 1 to 2 minute delay in what you guys actually see. So I'm very glad that we actually managed to get it right. But yeah, thank goodness for Vinny being here so that he could help me with the
yes.
audio. And yeah, thank goodness for Jason being there so he can help us with YouTube.
Yeah, because I'm not even on the YouTube screen
Yeah,
right now.
me neither.
So once I
I'm just looking at the
have,
chat, that's all.
once I have a bit of burning in place that kind of has the landmarks down, then I go ahead and erase my pencil lines, because if you burn the pencil line it's kind of into the paper or the wood, it's kind of like watercolors. You know how when you
Oh,
watercolor
so
with pencil,
it appears later on.
you can see it through the burning, and it's even harder to erase.
So I'm wondering if it's your webcam that's making yours look so yellow.
You know what?
Or
It is possible.
does it look very yellow when you're looking at it?
There is. Let's see here. It is definitely a brown for me, but let me. I'll lower the intensity on my color a little bit. Does that look a little better to you?
Yeah, just a little. Yeah, that's fine. I don't mind. I can see the shading in that just fine. I was just wondering if it was actually a different color or not. But I'm thinking it's just the cameras that are making it appear like different colors. And then...
I think so.
Yeah, okay. Because, Gareth is asking, is Val's darker because her power voltage is different, being 110 volts?
It is possible that there is, if you're trying to do the same setting as I am, there is a possibility that you're going to get a lighter burn than me. You might have to bump up a setting or two.
Yeah, because mine's on 3 now. What's yours on?
I'm at 2.5.
Yeah, I'm just above 3. Okay.
Yeah. And I remember now I remember this, talking to Pat from Optimum. He did say that you would probably have to go up a setting.
Okay.
To get the same as me.
Yeah. Because I guess Australians like to use more power. Okay, so we're not doing that water droplet, are we?
Not right now. And really, like,
how would this go if I like burn all of this? Would I be able to, let's say if I wanted to put a little ladybug in colored pencil over the top, would I be able to do that?
Yep.
I would. Oh, that's cool.
You would.
That is cool.
Now, your colored pencil, depending on which one you use, is the colored pencil is going to show the burning underneath. So you would need to use, if you don't want to see the burning, you would have to use something a little bit more opaque.
Okay. So I might just, if I know I'm going to go into a section, I'll use my eraser and just lighten up that outline anyways.
Yeah, I tend to try to burn next to the line.
Okay.
And then it gives me enough so that I can take it away. Hopefully, do I still look... Oh, I can see the difference. I almost look red on her screen. Huh. Has it already adjusted with my...
Clarice is asking how much was my burner. I think I paid 240 Aussie dollars for the whole kit though. So I got 6 of these little, what do you call these, burning pens? What do you call these?
Yep, pens. They're just fixed to pens. Yep.
And then I got the little Optima one, which is what you plug it into, for 240 Australian dollars. That was including shipping from the US, so that was cool. And they even gave me an adapter to plug it into the plugs over here.
Clarice for here in the U.S. for the dual with heavy duty cords. It's 153, and it's 109 for a single. Where meaning when I say single, only one pin can be plugged into the base versus.
Yeah, it's a big difference. It sounds expensive when I say it in Aussie dollars, but if you say it in US dollars, it sounds much cheaper. Okay, I feel like I want to go darker. I just need to be patient and gradually build it up.
Well, if you want to go darker, like I said, paper is a little different than wood. If you feel you need to bump it up, then go for it. What's the worst that's going to happen? You burn a hole in the paper?
Yeah. Yeah. It's
That's
not
the
like we're
worst that
working
can
with an
happen.
open flame. Like, yeah, and like you said, I'll be fine as long as I don't drop it on the carpet. I better not drop it. I'm very good at dropping things.
Yeah, but you're working at a table. I'm actually up on an easel.
Ah. Okay. Oh, far out. I wish I got wood. I think this would be so much fun to try and wood.
Well, we can do it again.
Yeah. Once I get organized.
Two things.
Mm-hmm.
Hugo wants to know if you painted with lemon water first, would it affect it like etching?
Lemon water on paper, once it's dry, acts like invisible ink when heat is applied.
Oh, that's cool.
So,
You'd have to experiment with that.
yeah, I'm not sure how that would react with the pens.
Also, Maureen McDonald wants to know, as far as the burners, and you're talking about prices, is that the initial layout of money? You complete a project with what you get. So, talk about the dual burner for. They're gonna you have to complete a project.
The dual burner comes with 2 cords and 2 pins. And with the heavy duty cords, that's 153. So you could pick 2 pins. So you could do the 2 that Geraldine and I have shown, a ball tip and the spear shader. You could do quite a bit with it, but I would suggest 2 more pins. So a total of 4 pins, so it comes out in US dollars. 193 with shipping.
But if they just had the 2 pins, wouldn't that still be the craft burner?
Well, let's see here. The ball tip, you can do lettering, the lines.
I wish we made a smaller flower.
I thought we were doing a small flower. I looked at it, I was like, could this be bigger?
You said 4 by 4 inches.
That's what I did.
And I was like, oh, okay, well, you would know if this was possible. But, I guess.
Well, if we
just do, look, there's a little flower in this big flower.
Oh, you're gonna, patience. Patience.
Yeah, guys, I'm never going to complain about how long colored pencils takes again in my life.
Never. And again, it's quicker on
wood.
Well, it's quicker on wood. Let's go ahead and switch over to the spear shader and see if you feel that moves quicker for you.
Alright, I've switched over the button.
Yep.
Alright, let's see. Peggy's asking, is the burner pen comfortable to hold? Yes, it's pretty comfortable. It's quite thin. Like if you look here, this is quite thin. And then it's just the spongy bit that's a little bit thicker. So when you just look at a photo of it, it looks like it's really bulky, but it's actually not. It's quite thin. Because I thought these were going to be way bulkier than what they are from the photos, Val.
Here's
are yours
my
bulky?
pen.
Oh yeah, that's pretty thin.
And this is a mono 0 eraser.
Yeah.
On the right.
Oh, that's a good way to compare. It's a bit bigger than the mono. I got one too. Cool. Alright, so
So I have my heat for the spirit shader on 3. And in these smaller areas, you can just use the tip and just kind of drag it in the direction that you want it.
Ah.
Peggy Henderson wants to know if the pen is comfortable to hold.
Yes. Mm. Oh, yes, that's what.
Oh, sorry,
I'm sorry,
I read that one.
Just
Yes. He can't hear us. He's.
I can hear the gaps in conversation.
Because I was like, wait a minute, Peggy's asking another question. Cool. Oh, wait a minute, it's the same one.
Okay, I like the shader a bit more for this section. So that's looking smoother. That's a bit better.
And you can get a larger area done.
Yes, yes.
Quicker.
This will work my patience a little better.
I know, the speed burnings, just like colored pencil, kind of give a false illusion of how quick this can be.
Yeah, it really does. But I think it's like that with everything. Color pencils as well. Do the time lapse, and then they're like, I can't believe it takes so long. Or even when I go and do my workshops in town, and we do a like colored pencil project, and they're like, far out, we just spent 4 hours drawing an eye the size of my thumb, and that's just too long. But yeah.
Well, it does get quicker the longer you're doing it and the more comfortable you feel with it. Because right now you're going a little slower than, say, I do, because I know I'm more comfortable with it, of course, and I'm not worried about burning myself or anything else.
Yeah, I guess like this is literally the first time I'm trying
Yep.
this, holding it in my hands. All I've done with this since I got it was take it out of the box.
And I was a little worried about that too. It's like, no, you gotta turn it on.
I know, I just haven't had a chance to. Okay, so I'm doing something wrong here with the way I'm placing it down. I need to go that.
Just try different angles with your pen, and sooner or later you'll see something you like, and just keep doing it.
And I need to move slower. I'm moving too fast like I do with pencils. I lift it too quickly. There we go. Slower is better.
So see, I wasn't trying to push you off on the bear cub. It really takes a while.
Far out. And you, what size is that? That's big as well.
The bear cub on the paper was an 8x10, and I transferred it to, I made it a little larger, and it's on a 9x12.
Oh, you're crazy.
Birchboard now.
Yeah, we will come back to this collaboration next year.
I really wanted it to be done by today, but
no, I think I understand now that I've tried it for myself.
And it's easier to turn your paper if you can versus turning your hand. That's why you'll see me flipping.
Yeah, I try and avoid that just because of my camera.
I know.
It's hard. Actually, I'm going to tape this paper down so that it's not moving around that much already.
Mine's taped down so that one I can, I mean, I could have just left the piece of paper without it taped down, but it does burn through the
paper.
Through
so
the
it'll
paper.
burn onto the board, but that's fine.
And paper will warp with the heat being
Yes,
applied to
I'm
it.
noticing that actually. So tape your paper down first if you're going to do this, so that it doesn't warp. If it warps, it's not a permanent warp. It'll once it cools down, it will go flat. Or not really?
Sometimes it will stay warped, and I have found that if the paper is small enough, if I run it through I have a printer that's an all-in-one, so it has the feeder top to make copies or scan. If I run my picture through that, the heat from the printer smooths it out.
Alright, that's cool.
I think you could
Who
also
comes up with
probably
that?
use an iron on low heat,
Ah,
like you would watercolor paper painting.
yeah. Okay, let's go on to.
I guess it helps if I actually keep looking at the reference photo.
I literally have my phone. Okay, so I'm going to zoom out and show you guys exactly what I have in front of me. So I have my coffee. I have the webcam here for Valarie.
I see you.
And then I have my phone here for the reference. This is the flower. Do you see how big this flower is? But we're optimistic. I got my scrap piece of paper, and then just to the right here, which you can't see, I've got the Optima one and the other pen. So it's like all very close by, so at least you can work in a nice tight knit area.
Yeah, my burners are up on shelves behind my easel so that they're off my counter. I just have to reach over and turn them on or change the temperature or what have you. I am gonna build a cart to put all my burners on so I can just push them off to the side if I need more room.
Because you have that many burners.
I have okay. I have 5. How many colored pencils do you have?
Okay, well that you can't compare.
What are you shaking your head for and going,
This is so cool. Seeing other
on
artists
my
work with
side?
mediums that other artists like completely different to their usual stuff. It's good. I wish more people would try this.
It is really
And
cool.
yeah, it's funny that we
And the
can
thing
joke
is,
about our different mediums. It's like different trades joking about which trade is better.
and what's cool though is your other mediums, your colored pencils, your inks that you have, you can use those with pyrography.
Yeah,
So you're not just stuck with a mono piece if you don't want one.
yeah.
I mean, some subjects I think look really good in mono, but sometimes I miss having color.
I really love what you did. What was that stuff that you could warp? Like um that flower thing that you made. It looked like porcelain, but you said as you apply heat to it,
Oh,
it's
the task board.
yeah. That looks like fun. And then could you paint on that? You could, couldn't you?
Yep,
Didn't you?
I did.
Did you? You did. You did. Yes.
I did. Yep, I used, let's see here. Though I didn't put up a finishing video because it got so close to the holidays that I didn't feel like editing it. For the task board, I found that I think acrylics would probably work the best with it,
Okay.
but any inks and whatnot work too. I think for the task board, once you burned it, you formed it, or you formed it and you burned it, and then if you sealed it with fixative and then put your medium on, I think it would work even better. So I haven't adjusted my heat. I got a darker burn because I left the pin up for
a bit longer.
about 10 seconds.
Okay.
Yep. And let it heat up more, and then I'm just dragging along the edge to get that shadow.
Yeah.
Then, now that I've got that burn line in, I can go ahead and erase. And I haven't used this Arcus paper. I bought it to burn on, but I have not done it yet. So, this one's a new one for me. Oh, and when I touch down, I try to touch down in a place that's already dark that way.
Yeah, I've actually, yeah, I know what you're saying. That's why I keep starting from the bottom of the shadow before I move up further.
Yep, yep. And that keeps you from having what I call the dreaded blob. And that's where you first touch down and you get the heat spot.
Yeah.
So if you touch down in a part that you've already burned and it's darker, you can avoid that. Or you can blow on your tip just before you make contact with the wood or the paper to cool it off for a second and then touch it.
Could you create highlights with the Tombow eraser? Could you erase like the bird marks? Or not?
Nope, the
No?
burn marks are there.
They're there for good. They are there for good.
They are good. Yep. In fact, pyrography is one of the ancient forms of art. It's one of the first ones that they started doing
Yeah.
long time ago.
So do you know a lot about the history?
It started off as, before the form that we know now, and after like the cavemen, because between like buried use on the wall and burning stuff
Yeah.
were the two arts back in ancient caveman times. Pyrography started gaining a real following in the 1800s, and it was called poker art. And they would take the poker from a fireplace
Yeah.
that had been heated up and apply that to the wood. And over time, they came up with the craft burner and simplified it. I'm trying to remember. Can't remember off the top of my head what year the first electric wood burner was out on the market. I have to look that up again.
Cool. That's interesting.
And this can be very meditative.
Yeah, I'm already getting quiet in some stages.
But if you are tired, I highly recommend
that you stop
don't burn.
burning.
Don't do it. I have dozed off while burning. Not in a long time. I'm telling you this now, love. It has been a long time since I've done it. But because it gets so meditative and relaxing, I have trying to push through a piece, fallen asleep, or not fallen asleep, but dozed off, and had my pen touch down on my board while that I was burning, and had some not so nice results that I had to hide.
Oh dear. Okay. I'm gonna actually lighten up this whole flower right now because I've done my outline way too dark. And then I don't have to worry about it later. Just get rid of it now.
I am wondering, because this does take so long, and that's why my lives are like, I keep them at an hour and a half, because if I didn't, I think...
Yeah, how long have we been
Hubby
going?
would wring my neck.
48 minutes.
I'm teasing. You just get the what?
Talking about you falling asleep.
No, we're past that. We're talking about how long for the live.
Oh, right.
So I guess we'll go for another 40 minutes.
I might.
That works.
Yeah, another 40 minutes. So it'll be 11:30 my time. So that'd be an hour and a half. Would it?
Let's see here, we're at 40. We're going to finish this off at... What time is it? It's
4:48.
4:48.
So 5:30.
We're going to finish at 5:30? 5:30. Okay.
Yeah.
Because it does get... Once you start getting the feel for it, it really does get easier. And, I mean, if you want to do another live in the future, where we work on just like little boxes of texture, so we work on one little box that is, fur, and one little box that is, say, glass.
Well, I'd say
stone.
yes, but I've seen how when you try and work on 2 or 3 different things, you only get one done. Like when you did the nose, I think the noses. So, yeah.
That's true.
So maybe we'll just stick
Those are
with
bigger.
tiny things. Maybe a bug, a ladybug. Let's do a ladybug. Something really, really small that we can get through 1.5 hours. Or if we want to do something that's really textured, then what's small and really textured? Maybe a piece of material, a pocket, a jean pocket.
What's Clarice have?
Well, she wants to know if she can scrape up the burned paper for little highlights.
Yes, you can. You have to be careful. I'm gonna while Geraldine keeps doing that, I'll grab a knife and I will just, let's see here, my test mark. So this is just an X-Acto knife. You can scrape carefully. What you're doing is you're scraping off the carbon.
So that's how you would highlight.
That's how you can highlight. You could also use ink. Leave the area like you would in watercolors. You would leave the whites. You would not put masking fluid on, but you could outline an area that you know. Let's see here. This is sanded. This is a mono sanded eraser that I have not tried on paper. So let's see what happens. Not.
So do these?
Nope, nothing.
These don't have like an internal thing built in that would switch it off if it was on for too long, like a hair straightener does. No.
Oh, like a fuse, and then. No, I don't believe they do.
Okay. That might be something good for them to consider doing in the future. If it's on for an hour or more than an hour, it'll switch off and then you have to switch it back on if you're still using it. Just in a safety aspect, I think that'd be good.
I think the reason they don't do that is because there's some people. The longest I can burn is with the Optima pen because the pens are the most comfortable. I can burn at about an hour and a half, an hour and 45 minutes.
Okay.
So there's other people that can burn a lot longer than I can.
Yeah.
And I think that's why they do it. That's also why if you look at the front of your Optima, there's a red light that's on right now.
Yeah.
Always look for the light.
Okay.
If that light's not there, you know it's off.
Okay.
Rob, 2259-100 wants to know, can you do biography on leather?
Yes, you can do it on leather. You can do it on bone. You can do it on gourds, paper, wood. Pretty much anything that is a natural substance. You do not want to burn on MDF or any type of plywood that does not have a veneer on it, because the glue that holds the material together is toxic. And those fumes, even if you cannot smell them, those fumes are still there, and they can make a person sick. You don't want to burn on plastic. You can also burn on canvas. I hear that. I didn't. So pretty much anything that is cotton-based, wood-based, bone, and leather. As long as they are raw and untreated, minus the watercolor paper because that has gelatin on it. It should be safe to burn on. In fact, I'm trying to get people to send me bones from hunting so I can try that.
Robert said, Val, your owl is out of this world amazing. Is that the one you did yesterday?
Thank you. Yeah, I need to get that done. Though everybody keeps telling me they want to watch me do that live, so I haven't worked on it anymore other than on the lives.
Yeah. Yeah, people get a lot out of the lives. Because, it's a video. You can fast forward if it takes too long, if you want to watch it later. But if you really want to get the real time clip, then having these videos is very useful for people who want to learn. Marie is saying, Shell, you could start live collabs with a different student each time. Maybe teach a skill directly. Yeah, I could do that. What have you guys like live like this, and then I try and teach you how to draw something? We could do that. I'll definitely think about that.
Make notes of how Vinny did the setup.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna save this OBS setup as it is. I'm not touching this unless we're doing a yeah. Yeah, well, next week, sorry, so these are for my students, but next week I'm doing a live collaboration with Unmask Art, Will Stoller from Unmask Art. So both of us will be live like this again. I think it's next week. I need to check my calendar. I need to talk to him and actually decide on what we're going to be drawing. But yeah, so we're going to be doing this live, and we'll both be doing a demonstration in colored pencils. So now there you've got two artists that are going to do the same thing in the same way, and you can see how different we still are with the way we do things, and then you can ask us questions directly about colored pencils and stuff. So he's in Poland, I think. So that's going to be interesting because their time difference is so opposite to mine. One of us we're going to have a weird or strange wake up hour.
Oh, that sucks.
But that's all right.
And I'll be modding, so I'll still be there.
Thank you.
Along with Maureen.
Yeah. But yeah, I plan on doing a collaboration like this with another artist at least once a month. Next month, I'm doing one with Ellen Brenneman. She does the inking, the spirit animals inking. So I'm going to do the real life version of an animal, and she's going to do the spirit version of the animal. And then we're going to sort of like overlay it in the time lapse so that you can see her spirit animal above my realistic one. So I think that's going to look so cool. So she's going to draw the spirit of my animal. So we're going to do that.
Yay, I was the first one. I was the maiden collaboration.
Yes, you were the first one. Thanks, Val.
Now, with your lower heat, if you would, while you're shading, especially near the base of the petal, if you kind of, I already did this side, if you kind of tilt your pen to say the left.
Yeah, I've sort of been doing that naturally, actually. I've just been doing it. Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
I think it's just overwhelming because it was a whole new machine.
Yeah.
But I think there's already a lot of skills that you already have.
Looks like she's getting the hang of it pretty quickly.
That's what I'm saying. I expected her to get a really good handle on this between the graphite, because I started with colored pencil and graphite before I moved into pyrography. It's harder for somebody who doesn't have an art background to kind of feel like they are creating the art that they want.
Yeah, I guess because with this you're working with gradients and shading, so if you know how to do that with another tool, even painting, I think, if you just have that in the back of your mind already, it does make it a little bit easier to approach this sort of thing.
So I really do think layers, contrast, and if you can get away with no outlines, as in, and I started this way too, where I would outline every line that you would see that on my pattern here would be outlined by burning, and then I would go in and color it, so it kind of has that coloring book feel.
Yeah.
And it took me several years to get away from that. Though as the more I would do, I would lighten that outline so that I could blend it more into the piece I was working on. But it's still there, and I still see it. And every so often I do competitions, and the judges look to see if you outlined.
Right.
They also look for graphite. They check to see if you
I am
get all your
recording.
pencil marks
Thank
off.
you very much, Amy.
Oh, when you see somebody asking if Shell's recording, he has got another camera that he's recording the time lapse with.
Mm.
That is what they're asking. Is every 20 minutes she has to click the button to record.
Oh.
Every 12 minutes. Yeah, it's very
Oh, it's 12
frustrating.
minutes?
Yeah.
And see, I do think that I have it taped, so I'm going to pull it off. Hopefully. I'm just losing it again. I'm just losing it. I do think it's important to have a black and white photo of your reference.
Yeah, I'm working from the
along with the color.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just showing cat because what you think you see in the blue,
Oh, right.
you really don't see it until
You
you
have
look
the
at the
black
black
and
and white.
Yeah.
Using a black and white, though, I do suggest a color because sometimes you can't necessarily see the best detail if it's a dark area, so you can see it a little bit more in that color. But to see how the petal turns and where the darks and lights hit it.
Yeah, you really see that in the black and white.
Yeah.
Cool.
This is what I'm looking at most of the time while I'm burning.
Okay.
That's why when I was shifting the camera, you saw a black and white bear and you saw the colored bear. Because I got them both. And I have a sepia one somewhere around here too.
See, you say sepia. Someone else says sepia. I would say it sepia.
Sepia. Sepia.
I am looking at this at the wrong way. This is this way. Oh. My flower was turned the wrong way. I got it now.
The raindrop, yeah, the raindrop in my flower is on the right petal. The petal that's going to the right. Zoom back in. There we go.
Okay.
And one thing I may not have been doing, but I do suggest other people do, is when, like I was just adjusting the camera. So my pen, I'm talking now, is off my paper. I would quickly test that tip before I touch back down again.
Okay, I haven't been testing my tip. I've just been placing it down.
Yeah, I've just gotten so used to going.
Yeah, you just do it.
Now I'm trying to get in the creases in the petal. Are you playing with that again? He likes to play with my spring action ceramic knife. So if you hear clicking, that is what that is. I know you're doing your job. You're awesome. I don't think you're used to being this quiet.
No. Try not to be disruptive.
You're not disruptive. I think people watch my lives for you. The cute ass Andrew hates it. So. I'm just trying to get those lines in. And I know you can do this, and I don't have a butter knife with me. I'm going to use the metal of a mechanical pencil to make an indent like you do when you're doing your colored pencils and you want some of the lighter white fur.
Yeah.
And you score the paper.
Yeah.
You can do that as well. And then, nice, I'm trying to make it a bit more of a burn. You can burn over it. And as long as you don't press down, you really want to let your pen do the work. That's why you're adjusting the heat. It's just to heat it up more so that you're not having to do as much. in theory, you should be able. I think it works better on wood than it does on paper. You should be able to go over your score lines and have that be a lighter burn, so a white burn, or to no burn.
Okay.
To help put in highlights as well. Okay, sort of paper deeper. I'm not getting what I want. Okay, I can see it right there. There we go. Okay, I just needed to go deeper
Okay.
and go slower. You can see it gives some texture.
Okay, cool.
Hopefully.
So would we do that on the... we wouldn't do that on the flower. We wouldn't need to, would we? It's not really that textured.
Yeah, I'm not seeing a place where we would really use that. I have been under the petal where I'm doing the shadow. When I'm angling the tip, I'm trying to kind of get underneath the petal.
Yeah.
And it kind of lifts the paper up a little bit. If you rub your finger over it, you can feel
Okay.
that it kind of embossed the paper.
Grace wants to know if you've ever done a portrait of a person.
I have. You. I burned you. I burned you. I have, Clarice. I burned a picture that Jason took of himself in Afghanistan. And I called it Waiting. And it's his.
Ian's asking, does it smell nice, Shell? It doesn't smell bad. At least it doesn't stink. It just smells like hot paper would smell. I'm actually not smelling anything anymore. Like, I did smell it in the beginning, but I don't smell anything now. I do have a window right next to me wide open. And it's a bit breezy, so it's nice.
I'm not smelling anything, and I have a closed window. Are you smelling burning from the paper?
Oh, I got a gold star.
You got a gold star? Who gave you a gold star?
For being quiet, I'm not sure.
So you just lost
for
it.
being burned.
Oh, for being burned. For being quiet. Let's see, over in My Lives, they give him stars or flames when he's... so that they can take it away when he's being himself. In fact, I don't think you ever got your flames back, did you?
No. Get taken away first, so I think permanently because of Bernadette.
Ooh. See, I burned too hot here, and that's just going to have to be okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to blend it in. So it looks like this petal is popping out more. And this one's blending in a little bit deeper.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm guessing I could go a fair bit darker in here. Oh, yes. And here.
So, Jackie Debston. This is next time that you guys do a collaboration, that Sheldane should teach you colored pencil. And there's a question from Blossom about can you use brush and pencil picking white for highlights?
You could after all burning is done. And that is one thing I need to really express is never ever add any kind of color medium or any
substance at all.
Anything. Yeah, any substance at all to your burning, to whatever you're burning until you know for a fact you are done. You're not going to be changing anything or making any adjustments. It is done because most color media will make you sick when you burn on it. In fact, I just saw in one of the Facebook groups 2 weeks ago, a lady ended up at the hospital, I believe, because he knew you weren't supposed to do that. That you weren't supposed to add or fix any kind of burning after you added color. But he was like, "Well, it's just a little bit. It should be fine." He ended up having to go to the hospital. He was having a hard time breathing, and he knows that is why it happened. A lot of the pigments can be toxic, especially if they've got any of the heavy metals in it, and it's just not worth it.
Yep.
Let your burning sit for a couple of days. If you're not 100% sure you're done, let it sit for a couple of days. Come back, look at it, see how you feel. If you feel, yep, it's done, then have fun adding color. Like at some point, I'll finish this one and I'll add some kind of color to it just to see how it looks.
I don't know when I'll finish this one.
It takes time. Now it makes me feel better knowing I wasn't blowing you off.
I know. I didn't think that you were. I know how things can take time. I mean, look at this. You and I weren't able to even have a practice round before this, and we already decided this date last year already. So.
The flower. What did you do? You picked the flower 2 days ago, didn't you?
Oh yeah, I only picked the flower I kept it simple at least. So lesson learned: if we're gonna do a live collab like this again, it needs to be even smaller.
Yeah, and when I was talking about like the texture squares, I'm only talking like 1.5 inches in size.
Okay.
So that, yeah, just like little squares.
Yeah.
Of texture to practice. Yeah.
Okay, I'm feeling quite comfortable with how my center of my flower is looking.
You're doing a great job.
I like it. I don't know what result I was expecting to begin with. I have no idea what I was expecting.
I think you're doing a beautiful job. And I think if you don't have a particular project planned for it, I think on days that you're feeling stressed and you want to get art done, you want to create, but you don't want to mess with anything else, I think you should turn your burner on and just have a piece like this flower ready. You don't have to do it all in one sitting.
Yeah.
Just kind of practice and kind of use it as a form of meditation as long as you don't close your eyes.
That is noting how much patience it takes. In fact, Rook's slow. They don't bring a flamethrower.
I have a torch.
Oh no.
But I don't think Kildine wants me to.
Oh no, hell no. I'm not going near anything that has an open flame.
He said, hell no, no open flames. But they're fun.
Yeah, no. Oh my gosh, you know what's fun? I tried it for the first time last night, is fluid, I think they call it acrylic pour. Fluid acrylic pour. Oh, geez, like I did 5 or 6 canvases in like 1 hour, and they look amazing. They look so good. I was like, okay, I need to give out colored pencils because people can sell that for much more expensive than I can even sell something that's taken hours and hours. So it looks so beautiful. A lot of it sort of looks like topography. Just with the patterns in that, it looks like, like satellite photos. The colors just mix into each other like marble, and it's so easy to do. Although it's so wasteful. You go through so much paint. Like I went through 5 whole bottles of paint.
Oh my goodness.
just for those 6 canvases. And most of that ended up on the floor.
On the floor?
Well, we had tops and everything down, so
Oh, okay.
we knew what we were in for. It's very messy. But
Did Vinny help you with that?
oh no, Vinny wasn't even there. I don't think he'd.
Oh.
Yeah. I think if he saw what we did, he'd probably be like, "You are never doing this at our house ever."
Garages work.
Yeah, we got a shed. We got to do it in the shed, but definitely not
There you
in
go.
summertime. We don't have air conditioning in that shed. We'll cook alive.
Oh.
I don't know.
We're
Our
in
summers
Arizona.
are as extreme as your winters. Just obviously opposite.
No.
But the summers here
Actually-
are seriously extreme. What's your
Actually,
summers like?
Well, our highest this past summer was 97. So, what's 100 degrees Celsius?
I think 37 degrees Celsius is 100 degrees Fahrenheit.
Okay, so
That's pretty hot. That is pretty
Yeah.
hot.
And we don't have air conditioning.
Oh no, that would have been horrible.
Yeah.
No.
It's snowing around now.
We definitely have air conditioning, and it's pumping from the time that we wake up all the way to the end of the day.
Well, see,
We got solar
Phoenix,
panels
which-
as well, so at least it's
Oh,
not
that
too
helps.
wastage. Yeah.
That helps. Yeah, Phoenix, on the other hand, is easily 120
Mm,
for a couple of months in the summer.
yeah, that's what it's like over here. And then yeah, do you guys have the flies? We have the flies. That's the worst part about summer over here. Is like there's hordes and hordes of flies. That's why that
No.
when you're going to any like tourist shop in Australia, they have those caps with the corks hanging off of them.
Mm-hmm.
That is all because of the flies.
Oh.
That keeps the flies away. No one wears them, but I mean they would work.
What's funny is my dad and my aunt will be there in Australia in a week and a half, 2 weeks.
Okay. Well, when they come back, ask them about the flies.
Ask them about the flies. I
Yeah.
will.
And the mosquitoes here are also terrible.
Oh, mosquitoes. Yeah, that we have those. In some places, they're really bad. See, this paper is not going to give us a perfect gradient. At least, not my paper. Can't see the texture on yours. Let's see here.
Yeah, I need to move along further and just keep working the gradients on here, which is good because it's starting to look nice. But
And a lot of times, what I do is
I think
block
it needs to be a
in.
little bit higher.
Yeah, I tend to block in my stuff in the area that I'm working in, and then I
And then
can
you
go
work
back
it
and-
further.
yeah. So right here, the petals going underneath, so I'm just trying to get a little bit of shading in there, which one thing, just like with any other medium, there's always an ugly stage.
Yes.
You just have to push through it.
Yep.
Don't give up. It will get better.
Yep. I say the same thing all the time.
Could you both remind chat of what papers you're using?
I am burning on Arches Hot Press 140 pound. And Kaldane, you're burning on...
I'm on the Fabriano Artistico hot pressed watercolor paper, and it is 90 pounds, 200 GSM. It's pretty thin.
Oh, so yours is... Yeah, yours is 90 pounds. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, when I did the first blob in the middle, I was like, oh my god, I'm about to go through the paper.
Well, one thing people don't realize is that paper takes more heat than wood.
Really?
There you go. So
That,
some of these gradients that you're doing right now, you're going to have to use a lower setting
for wood.
for wood. Which is why you should have that scrap of wood. Just small. I mean, some of my scraps of wood, I have... this one is just one I guess it could be its own art piece at this point. It's just a piece of birch that I just touched down real quick. See how a tip looks.
Yeah.
And see, look,
Oh,
if you look
far
here.
out. Yeah, that's very
Yep.
dark.
Yep, so that's the wood, and without changing the setting, let me show them on here. So that's the paper.
Yeah.
Let me heat up. And that's the wood.
Okay. That's interesting. I would never have thought that.
Yep. So, when you do have time, I do think we should do another live where you're using wood.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yes, so you can compare the two.
Sorry, I just had a very, very naughty thought. I was like, if someone had to log into this live right now, what would they be seeing?
Oh, trust me. I have it all the time. I have it all the time.
I'm drawing a flower, people. I'm drawing a flower. Let me zoom out.
Drawing a flower and talking about wood.
I know.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we never grow up, do we?
I hope not. I don't want to grow up. Love, do you want to grow up? Awesome. He says he's never growing up.
Okay, I might just move along here.
Time goes by quickly.
I know.
Let's see here. See, on my screen, oh, you know what? It looks darker on that. I've got the monitor brightness turned down on the tablet because I'm looking at my screen and my flower is bright. Then I look over to see what Jason's looking at and it looks so dark.
I know.
Yay, because I don't.
What's going on?
Kel, did you ever see the last Oblivious movie?
Oh no.
Or short?
I need to go.
Gotta watch and see what happens.
Okay, I need to go look. I haven't even had time to watch as much as an episode on a TV series. That's
I
how
hate that.
insane it's been. And I've got so many books that I really want to be reading. I'm like reading 3 books at the same time. It's like, okay, I need to pick one.
I actually had to give up reading books because it was either read a book and I knew I'd get stuck in it for however long it took me to finish it, or get some art done.
Yeah,
So
I've
had
got
to
some
switch over to
audiobooks.
audio.
Yeah.
Yep.
But like the ones that I'm really getting into, they don't have the audio versions. I'm like, ah.
I actually just started, because I had never read them or anything, I actually started the Harry Potter series.
Have you? That was the first series of books that I ever read, like, where I finished a book. Like, all the books
Oh,
that I
yeah?
had in school and stuff, I never finished them. And then the Harry Potter books were the only books that I ever actually finished to the end. Until I was, like, 25.
Oh, so yesterday.
Whatever.
Hey, I am 4.4. I'm still young.
When is your birthday, Val?
I am July 11th.
July. So what star sign is that?
Cancer.
Cancer.
Chet wants to
My
know
mom's Cancer.
why there's so much difference in the color in between your
I
his
think,
work.
It's
The
just, I think it's just the
difference-
videos.
yep, just the cameras is what I'm thinking. Because, I mean, I've got different lighting. Hill's got different lighting. 5 lights on.
Yeah, me too. I've got the daylight. I've got a big daylight lamp, and I've got 2 OT lights, and I've also got 4 lights and a window. Yeah, it's amazing how much lighting you need just to get like a sort of clear view on your videos.
It is. I wonder, do you think turning that light on might help a little bit, Love, above you? Or that one too? There's two.
Iggy is
Whichever
saying I
one.
gotta have a pink grip on my burner. No,
Pink grip.
I'm definitely not a pink person. Orange. I would love orange grips. Do they have any orange grips?
No. Normally Optima is teal, and unfortunately Pat is having this teal color. I know it might look blue, but it's actually teal.
Yeah.
Um, that's the normal color, but the ones he sent you are red, and that's because he's having a bit of an issue with his supplier.
Okay. Well, these red ones are nice too.
And because I've got the teal and black. So at this point, he is trying to get the teal. So no pink. You can. It takes some work to take this foam grip off, but you can do it if you want to switch colors. Which is why I think he sent you two kinds of foam grips, just in case you didn't like one.
Yeah, he sent me quite a few extras.
Yeah, that was just in case.
Oh, they're all the same. But yeah, he sent me a lot of extra. But I noticed on one or two of your burners, you got like, do you have 3 sponges on there?
Oh, yes, you can. You can pay an extra $1 and get more foam put on. This is called just extra foam. So any of the heavy duty pens on the website, if you put an EF after it, that's what this is the extra foam. I don't feel I need it.
Yeah, I'm not.
I
It's
wanted to
warm. It
try
feels
it.
warm, but it's not like burning or anything, so it's fine.
Yeah. Now, at your higher heats, if you're burning a really hard surface like bone, it does require a higher heat setting,
Yeah.
and the pen will get warm. It will get hot sometimes.
Okay.
But you don't want to burn your pen. Let's see if I don't know if it'll be able to show up because of all the lighting. I'm gonna bump up my pen to 6. When you start seeing red on your pen, when there's a little bit of a red glow that starts happening,
There is a little bit of a red glow.
On yours right now?
Oh, no, I don't know if that's just...
Okay, there's a little bit of a red going on mine. I don't know how well anybody can see it. You don't want to burn with your pen looking...
Okay, no, mine's not as red as yours.
Yeah. You don't want your pen burning for any length of time like this.
Oh my gosh, look at that. So what, did you just put it on a real high setting?
It's on 7.
No.
That is 7 for me, and when I touch down, it does that. I guess I didn't put it in here. See, now it's not red anymore because all the heat went into the paper. I've got to lift it up, let it sit for a second. It's red again.
Okay, yeah, so it does heat up really quick between settings, which is cool.
Yeah. You don't really, for flat work, which is what we're doing, you really don't need to burn at that level. And now I've got some carbon on the bottom of my pen, and I'm just going to wipe it off on my paper. And it'll come clean. Now that I have my lights off, is it actually better? The camera? Or worse? Let's see here. Harvey left us for a minute.
Andrew's asking, are they neoprene grips?
No.
No.
I don't know what the foam is made out of. I'll be honest. I don't know what the foam's made of. I know that the foam does come in from China to a supplier here that cuts it down and does fancy stuff to it for Pat, and then gets it to Pat.
Okay.
Are these neoprene foam?
Looks like it.
Well, here, feel.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, well, tell Andrew the answer then, because I didn't know.
Okay, Andrew, it does sound like it is neoprene.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
So Andrew's saying that bone pyrography needs high heat. And yeah, so that's what Val said earlier. Andrew, do you also do pyrography? You sound like you know what you're talking about.
Andrew does.
Oh, okay.
He's one of mine.
He's one of yours, Val.
He's one of mine. I claim him first. He is my moderator over on the Drawing with Fire Pyrography group.
Clarice also tries some. She says my craft burner does that, Val, and tips bow. I can't control the heat either. What? My craft burner does that too, Val, and tips bow.
Oh, because what he's saying is he's got a non-variable craft burner, meaning he can't adjust the heat, and her tips turn red.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a bit annoying. I guess you don't have as much control.
Yeah. I started off on a non-variable or unable to change the heat. I think I only did 2 burnings with it, and then I upgraded. The Walnut Hollow does come. They do have one that you can adjust the heat with. It's not comfortable to me, so I don't use it.
Well, that's also why I asked you, like, when I said that I wanted a kit, I would be willing to pay the extra $1 to get something that's going to be a high quality kit. I don't want to get something that's going to end up not working. But like I was expecting it to be way more expensive. I don't know why. I don't know what I was expecting, but I thought it'd be much more expensive. So I was very surprised at the tools.
This is a craft burner.
Oh my gosh, that looks scary. That looks like a torture tool.
So you can see the difference in size. For the tip, this is the heater tip.
Yeah. Oh wow. Okay.
You can see the difference. And it burns differently. If that's all you have, then
you'll make do.
I say, burn away. But when you can upgrade, if you want to upgrade, I do highly recommend it.
Okay, we're already at that time. Maybe we'll just do 5 more minutes. If you guys have any last minute questions, now's the time to ask, and then we're going to end the stream. But we will do it again. We'll do it again, and next time we'll do it on wood.
Yes.
So, yep. And my opinion of this, I really enjoy it. I feel like I'm getting, the more I'm doing it, the more I'm getting the hang of it. And, but I'm excited to try it on wood. I don't know if it's going to be easier on wood and if it's going to burn quicker on wood. I probably wouldn't do it on paper again. I don't know. But I will need to give it a go first.
I do think that, this is a piece of wood that is not sanded. You want to sand your board.
Yeah. Okay. Well, when you say wood, so tell us what the best wood is for this. So you said birch wood.
Yep, I prefer to burn on birch or basswood. This is a piece of birch that's unsanded. It was just from a scrap board at Michael's. Those have the smoother grains. A lot of people also burn on poplar. And I'm trying to think what's some of the other...
I don't even know what the different kinds of woods are. So I would have to go to a hardware store and ask them for that wood because I wouldn't know.
Yeah. And I would say stay away from pine.
Okay.
I spent years burning on pine, but pine has a lot of hard and soft areas in between. I guess.
The wood grains.
That train just. Thank you. Yes, the train. That train just went like off the rail.
I have those moments too.
Diving for the water.
Chimera asks, is saying, sorry Val for interrupting you. Camara is saying the link to Val's channel is incorrect. Okay, I'm sorry about that. I'll fix it. And then Ian's got a question for Val. Have you ever used your burner to cut stencils out?
I do not use my wire tips for that, but you can use a craft burner for it. I have not done it.
Okay. And Robert's asking, what are the burns?
The Optima is a true 40-watt burner.
Yep.
When
so
you see the
we're using.
Yep, that's what we're using.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the burners are listed as 130 watts. That 130 watt number is for what the power supply does, not what ends up being the energy or the electricity that ends up into the heating up your tip, because you lose wattage from the power supply to the jack, from the jack to the cord, from the cord to the end of the pin.
Yeah.
So
I'm so glad this is 240 watt because I learned this from an electric sharpener before. I got a 120 watt sharpener and I plugged it into a normal Australian plug and my sharpener started smoking.
Oh gosh.
So luckily with this one I can plug it in here and it's fine. So the new sharpener I have now, it's plugged into a freaking massive transformer that's like bigger than the sharpener, just so that I can use the sharpener. But yeah, that's not something that I would have wanted to learn using this machine. But luckily it uses 240 watts, so I'm all good.
Yeah,
is it watt or volts?
I'm sorry?
Is it watt or volts? Volts. 240. No. What's the difference between volts and watts? I don't know. I should ask Vinny this. He's an electrician. He would freak out if I asked that question.
Yeah, I'm not even going to try to answer that one.
Well, it says 240 and then it says VAC next to it. That's what it says on the machine. So I'm guessing it's... I think Robert said it's volts.
Yeah, I think it's volts because it's 110 volts out of the wall, right? Yeah. So
okay, yeah, it's volts. And Jackie's asking about the cost. So Jackie, you're in Australia, I think, Jackie. So it cost me 240 Australian dollars, but you can get it. Val said 120.
Well, for the dual, with a total of 6 pins. I'm doing my math right. I'm sorry, the dual with 4 pins total is 193.
Okay, 193 US dollars. Yeah.
US dollars.
So I got mine sent from the same supplier that Val used, and he sent it to Australia, and the shipping was really cheap. So all up, for 6 pins and the Optima one, I only paid $240, including the shipping. So that's pretty good. Australian dollars. Okay, cool. Okay, we are gonna start saying goodbye. Chris Craft says, I plugged the walnut hollow in my 240 volt plug and it burns hotter. Quicker to burn the piece. Walnut hollow.
But you're also likely to burn that piece, the walnut hollow pin out, like completely burn it out where it doesn't work anymore.
Okay. Cool. Okay, so I'm going to turn mine off now.
I'm looking at the YouTube stream now, and I can really see what they were seeing, the difference in the color.
Yeah, you're only seeing that now. Yeah, it's very, very different. But it's actually the same color. So Val's would be more like mine. So mine, it's like a dark brown. The true color of Val's. It's not yellowish, or is it?
Actually, it is a little bit.
Oh, it is yellowish. But we are using different papers. Maybe it could be a bit of the different paper as well that's causing the color to change up a little. Maybe.
Yeah, that is true. Let me see. I'm trying to bump down some of the... See, because my tape is blue.
Yeah.
So.
There we go. That's better.
Oh, there we go.
That's
I
much
had to switch over to to my other view so I could see.
Yeah. Okay, so this was my first attempt, and I must say I feel very, very happy with it. I think it looks amazing, and I do want to finish the flower and see what I can do until the end. Thank you, Val. You're a very good teacher. It was very useful because I was watching your video the whole time. So it is very useful being able to watch what you're doing while I'm doing mine, and then it just, you can't get a clearer perspective of how to learn something. And then being able to talk to you in real time as well obviously helps. Because the delay on YouTube is beyond me. I think they're like a whole 2 minutes behind what the actual time is. But yeah,
that's what it is.
Thank you to Val's followers and my followers for tuning in. Val will end up having this video on her channel as well. We will be doing this again, and this time we will be doing it on wood. We use the Optima 1 dual burner with its burning pens. Feel free to cut in whenever you want, Val. And then I use the Fabriano hot pressed 200 GSM watercolor paper, which is 90 pounds. And Valerie used the Arches hot pressed watercolor paper, which was how much? 120 pounds.
140.
140 pound paper. So hers was a bit
300.
thicker. Yeah. So we did use the same tools for burning, and then Val was just showing me how to do it at the same time. And yeah, so I will make sure to fix Val's link in the description. I don't know why it's wrong, but I'll fix it up anyway so you guys can check out Val's channel. And then yeah, thank you to everybody who tuned in today. It was really fun. I really enjoyed the burner, and I will be using it again. I can't wait to try it on wood. But when I try it on wood, we'll organize another hangout with Val like this again, and we will try it out. So yeah.
Thank you so much for having me, Shell.
No problem. Thank you very much, Val. Okay.
Always fun.
Yes, always fun. So Val is usually helping me moderate on my YouTube channel, so she's really, really great. She's always there if you have any questions. And yeah, so it was fun experimenting with something completely different. And yeah, we'll do it again. Okay, I'm gonna say goodbye. And Val, I am going to stop the stream in 2 minutes. So maybe just put on mute. We're saying goodbye now, but they're only going to hear it in 2 minutes' time. So once I say goodbye officially, just put yours on mute, because it's probably going to go for another minute or two. All right, thank you so much, Val. I'll see you. I'll speak to you later, because I'm streaming again after this for my students.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
All right, bye.
Bye.